Hey there, I'm Larry Delgado. Welcome to ChefLarryDelgado.com. Today we're working with a wonderful smoked artisan cheese. This cheese comes to us from Tenosique, Tabasco, Mexico. I did a little bit of research, and if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this cheese, check out my previous pasta segment. This cheese is made from cow's milk, and it's a semi-hard cheese. So it doesn't have the same melting qualities as provolone. It's kind of somewhere between provolone and smoked Gouda. Smoked provolone and smoked Gouda, if I had to guess. Now, again, my research led me nowhere other than smoked artisan cheese. But it's delicious in a number of applications. Today I'm going to show you how to make a caramelized onion bread pudding. We'll start our bread pudding with onion. We want to get long strips out of our onion as when we caramelize it. So easiest way to do that is take the ends off. We're going to take a bit off the bottom so it's easier to cut. I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. And peel off the outer layers. Good. Okay, so now that we have the outer layers peeled and we have the bottom sliced like this, we can set that down just like so it's not wobbling around. You run less of a risk of cutting your fingers off. A sharp knife is also key. All right, so we want to go as thin as possible, well, not quite as thin as possible, about 1/8 of an inch. And again, these rings, which most of them won't end up as rings, but we end up with long strands of onion. It's exactly what I'm looking for here. All right, you'll see the outer layers are just long strands. You have some rings in the middle, which is just fine, but as they cook and caramelize, they'll start to break up. So we'll add this to a pan with a little bit of butter. A little bit. Get that on the heat. That butter start to melt. And just break up our onions in the same pan. What we're looking for here is we want these onions to caramelize, start to develop that rich, nutty flavor. So we're not just looking for them to become translucent or soft. We really want to let those go for 30, maybe even 45 minutes on a low flame until they're nice and golden brown. We're going to set these down, cover them, and move on to preparing the rest of our bread pudding. Now that our onions are going, we'll get to our bread. We got some day-old stale slider buns here, and we're just going to quarter them up, like so. Okay, that looks like about enough. One more for good measure. Okay, now that our bread's cut, we'll add that into our casserole. Now I'm using a stainless steel dish because that's what we use at the restaurant, but any Pyrex or oven-safe dish will work. We'll set that aside. We're going to take a little bit of cream. Tell me when. Anybody? Anybody? Anyone? Okay. Going to add a couple of eggs. Pinch of salt. Actually, 2 pinches, 3 pinches, 4 pinches. And some pepper. We'll mix that up. I'm going to add a little more cream. We're looking at my pan of bread. So you want enough liquid to soak up into, you want that bread to soak up as much liquid as possible so you don't have a dry side. This can be a great dish as a side for a roasted turkey, roasted chicken, pork chop. Today I'm going to put it on the side of a steak, but it's so rich and delicious. The smoky application of this cheese is going to pair well with just about anything roasted. Okay, we'll check on our onions. They're burning. Move these onions around. Once the onions sweat and start to soften up, we can leave them uncovered and finish them off. So onions are going to take a little bit longer, so it's a perfect time to introduce you to my other talent. No harm, no foul. Okay, so we'll take our beautiful caramelized onions. We're going to toss them in with the bread and mix that around. So our bread and our onion are equally mixed and incorporated in the pan here. We're going to take a little more butter. I'm going to melt that in that pan. While that's melting, we'll take our egg, cream, salt, and pepper mixture, pour it right over the top. Again, if you pour that in and you notice that it's not enough, add a little more cream. Don't be shy. Or vice versa, if you need to add more bread, feel free to do that as well too. Okay, our cream is in. Now we're going to take our smoked cheese, spread it over the top. It looks good already, doesn't it? And a little bit of this butter to help that cheese along. Easy enough. Now we'll just push everything in, get that bread down into that delicious cream, and into the oven this goes. Uncovered at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. So our onion bread pudding is ready. And I know I told you I'd be pairing this with a steak, but I changed my mind. This is going to be perfect with our duck confit. Look at that. That's exactly what you're looking for here. Nice long strands of onion. Nice gooey bread. The cheese is nice and melted. The bread has soaked up all the delicious cream. And we're going to top that off with a perfectly seared duck confit, leg of duck confit, which is a different show altogether. So we've got the gooey bread that's absorbed all that cream, caramelized onions. Actually, let's start here with a little duck. Man, when I said Thanksgiving, it's exactly what this particular pairing reminds me of. You got those great aromas that just remind you of fall. And man, I got to stop talking and eat. I got to admit, I hit a home run here. It's a perfect pairing of smoky cheese, caramelized onions, and that preserved duck leg. I paired it with some heirloom tomatoes and Roma tomatoes and marinated in a little bit of olive oil just for the contrast, trying to freshen up this dish. But you have such rich flavors involved in this whole deal. I hope you get a chance to try this at home. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Larry Delgado, reminding you to cook often, eat well.